Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Boxing Along the Beltway, our news and notes for this week. And we are loaded with a lot of great news, including some breaking news we'll talk about in just a moment. We'll kick off with this broadcast. We're also going to have update, or actually recap of what took place this past Saturday along the Beltway on March 11th with some big wins and big bouts for our Beltway boxers. We've got a preview to give you on the March 30th card that'll take place at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And we'll also have some big updates in the Beltway boxing schedule coming up for April. So a lot going on. And so hope you stay with us for what should be a really very informative Beltway boxing news and notes. And that is brought to you, of course, by Real Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, for shoulder pain to muscle strain and everything in between, Boxing Along the Beltway recommends Real-Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. Don't forget to go to www.freepainoffer.com. When you buy $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief, you get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Well, the big news right off the bat, the breaking news right off the bat, is that this Friday, March 17th, the boxing card that is featuring David Day Grayton taking on Kermit Killer Cintron, that'll be in a 10-round contest at the Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania. Now, that card, which features the headliner, it's a King's Motions card, and Marshall Kaufman's son, Travis Kaufman, is in the main event against Amir Mansour, and that card and that bout will be televised on Bouts TV on Friday night, March 17th. And we've just learned that the Grayton Cintron bout will open that telecast on Friday, March 17th from the Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania. You can see it on Bouts TV. It'll be on at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So David Grayton taking on Kermit Cintron. Grayton, of course, 15-1, 11 KOs. Cintron, former two-time world champion, 39-5-2 with 30 KOs. That bout will now be on the Bounce TV telecast, and that telecast will kick off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we've also learned that Moshe Aleem will be on that card. Moshe Aleem, the older brother of Emmanuel Aleem, who just recently won a regional title. Moshe turns to the ring, and he'll be on that undercard of that particular bout. So best wishes to both of them, David Day Grayton and Moshe Aleem, and they'll be on that card Friday, March 17th. And Grayton's bout against Kermit Cintron will be on the Bounce TV telecast. I think I said open. I'm not sure when I will open the telecast. We do know it will be on that telecast. That's Friday, March 17th on Bounce TV, beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we had some big action. Of course, we didn't have the Gary Russell card against Oscar Escandón. That was postponed. We'll give you a new date about that a little bit later on in the podcast. But we did have a lot of action throughout the country for Beltway boxers, and most of them were very successful. So we'll start in Verona, New York at the Turning Stone Casino, where two Beltway boxers, one a newcomer to the area, scored knockout wins on that card. Demetrius Big Meech Ballard had a interesting bout against Zoltan Serra of Budapest, Hungary, but Ballard was able to get a fourth round technical knockout of that bout against Zoltan Serra. According to my buddy Boxing Bob Newman of FightNews.com, Serra tried to make it a rough battle, and I actually did get a chance to see the video of this, and he did try to make it a rough battle. He held on a regular basis in the bout. Benji Esteves was the referee. He eventually took a point away from him in the third round. He actually threw Ballard down to the canvas. It looked like Ballard might have hurt his back a little bit, but Ballard came up in the fourth round and just knocked down Serra twice. Second time, Serra didn't want to go any further. Bout was stopped at 116 to the fourth round. Bout is now 16-0, 12 KOs. Serra falls to 26-12 with 17 KOs. Then it was Alex Rincon. Now, Alex Rincon is a newcomer to the area. He actually trains at No Excuse with Demetrius Ballard, Lamont Roach Jr., and Kevin Rivers Jr. And he had a nice amateur background. He won the ringside championships. He won the USA Nationals in 2013 and now trains in this area. He's originally from Carrollton, Texas, and he dropped Sean Lee Henson of Albuquerque, New Mexico twice with some nice body shots. And he scored a second round knockout over Henson, 52 seconds of the second round. Great performance for Rincon. He looks very good early. Henson's 2-4, 2 KOs. He fought a guy with a little bit of experience, but a nice performance in his debut for Alex Rincon out of Carrollton, Texas. So that was interesting there. So good win for Alex Rincon and good win again for Demetrius Ballard. Meanwhile, over at the Sugar House Casino in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Saturday night, a couple of split decisions. Excuse me, for Beltway boxers. One may have been a hometown decision. All depends how you look at it. I have not seen the video, so I don't really know. The other one I'm very happy for because the other guy who got the win in the split decision needed a win badly. The Pride of Alexandria, Virginia, Brandon Quarles, was in the main event on that card at the Sugar House Casino. Took on Tyrone Young Gun Brunson in the main event, both fighting at junior middleweight. And Quarles has had some bouts where every time he's stepped up a little bit in competition, he struggles a little bit. Now, again, he's in somebody else's hometown. I understand that. And he fought a different Brunson than most people used to seeing. Brunson was known for his knockout power in the early career. Of course, he set a world record with 19 straight first-round knockouts to start his career. But Brunson used his jab, according to the reports that I've read. He used his jab this time to set up the power shots. And Quarles was in there and landing shots, but apparently on two of the judges' scorecards, he didn't do enough. One judge scored about 78-74. Another judge scored at 77-75. Quarles did get a decision on one scorecard, 77-75. And you just sometimes have to wonder. I mean, Quarles, as talented as he is, one of the things that has kept him from moving up in the junior middleweight divisions is his lack of power. He only has 9 KOs coming in. And you got to wonder if he had some serious power, would he been able to knock down Brunson during the course of the bout? But he didn't do it, and Quarles lost. His loss breaks a 5-bout losing streak. He's now 18-4-1, 9 KOs. Brunson 24-6-2 with 22 KOs. So you got to wonder now if Quarles is still a player in this situation, in the junior middleweight division. Junior middleweight division is wide open, but closing fast. You know, with Jared Hurd winning a world title now, you've got, of course, Jermel Charlo defending his title coming up in Maryland, coming up in the bout that was rescheduled from March 11th. We'll tell you the date a little bit later on, but you just got to wonder whether or not that's feasible right now for Quarles to be involved in that situation, because it's getting tougher. And if he can't step up and beat some of these guys like a Tyrone Brunson, who kind of was on his way down in this space, whether he's still a player remains to be seen. We hope so. No question about that. Meanwhile, in the co-feature bout, Haymarket, Virginia super lightweight Juan the Savior Rodriguez. He won a split 6-round split decision over David Gonzalez of Philadelphia. Now, the report I read on that one was that this was a very tough bout from beginning to end, and Rodriguez may have caught a break in the final round because the referee took a point away from Gonzalez in the last 30 seconds of the bout. And the point deduction allowed Rodriguez to win on two of the cards, 57-56 and 58-55. Gonzalez took the other card, 57-56. He keeps that point, then more than likely it ends up being a draw in that situation. But Rodriguez, who needed a break for a long time, he's lost 4 in a row, lost some tough people. You know, he got knocked out his last bout by Michael the Professor Fox. And he's now over 500 again, 7-6-1, 5 KOs. And again, Rodriguez had a kind of a weird career because he started off real nicely. He lost one bout at the Henderson Hall in Arlington, Virginia. I remember that bout against Christian Steele. Then he got hurt and was out for about a year or so, and came back, got a little busier, but he lost 4 in a row. Lost some pretty tough competition, again, including Michael Fox. But for him to get this win, that's a big step in the right direction for Juan Rodriguez. He's now, again, 7-6-1, 5 KOs. Gonzalez suffers his second straight defeat. He was knocked out in his last bout prior to this. And now he's 8-2-2 with 2 KOs. So tough break for David Gonzalez. So good wins there. And also in Louisiana, Antoine Action Douglas lost. He won a 5th round knockout in his bout in Louisiana. Good win for him. He beat Pablo Munguia of Mexico City, Mexico. And Douglas's bounce back win after his suffering his first loss. That was a 10th round TKO loss to Vantel Kurtzer. That was in March of 2006. So he's been out almost a year. And he's now 21-1, 14 KOs. He's ranked number 12 by the WBC. Munguia falls to 21-12, 12 KOs. And the fact that he is ranked number 12 in the WBC leads to something I found very interesting going into this situation. GH3, his promotional company, says that Douglas will come back to the ring later on this month. On Monday, March 27th, he will go to the Dominican Republic. He'll take on Eduardo Mercedes of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. He's 32-16, 27 KOs, and that will be for the WBC FECA Box middleweight title. It actually be Mercedes' second chance at the title, and of course that title was once held by another Beltway boxer in Tony Jeter a couple years ago. So Douglas comes back on Monday night, March 27th, in the Dominican Republic. We'll keep you posted on that bout as well. Now, talking about the schedule coming up in the Beltway on Thursday, March 30th. Actually, prior to that, of course, we have Saturday, March 25th at the UDC Physical Activity Center in Washington, D.C., and that's the GQ Promotions card coming up there. But now we also got to talk about Thursday, March the 30th, and a card that'll be promoted by Baltimore Pro Boxing. That'll take place at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. We just got the info on that card, so let's kind of preview that card as well, because we'll have both the March 25th and the March 30th cards live on the Box On Beltway Google app for Android. The pro portion, we're just going to do the pro portion for the 30th. I'm sorry, amateurs, we're just going to do the pros on that one on the broadcast. And headlining the pro portion of the card will be the new NABA Cruiserweight Champion. He is Slick Nick Kisner out of Baltimore, Maryland. He'll take on Lamont the Problem Solver Singletary of Dover, Delaware. That'll be an 8-round non-title bout. Now, Kisner's 18-3-1, 6 KOs. He won the NABA title in his last outing. He captured a 10-round majority decision over Brian Holstein. That was on November 23rd in Columbus, Ohio. Kisner beat a hometown product there because Holstein is from Columbus. And Kisner's a guy that he has so much talent and he has so much experience, had a great amateur career. And, every now and then he'll falter, but he seems to always pop back and get back into the mainstream. And with the cruiserweights being, getting a lot better in the last few years in this area, with not only Kisner but Travis Reeves in the area. You got to look at Luther Smith. Can't forget Luther Smith, who's now a cruiserweight. We've got some solid cruiserweights in this area now, in the Beltway. And you wonder how Kisner is going to really get into the mix now. And this bout could be a lot more interesting than we give it credit for, because Lamont Singletary out of Dover, Delaware, 8-1, 5 KOs. He returned to action in his last bout after almost 3-year absence, scored a first-round knockout over Dan Biddle. That was on February 17th in Wilmington, Delaware. Singletary's only loss came against Travis Reeves. That was back in November 2013, and Reeves knocked out Singletary in the first round in Delaware there. So if Kisner could knock off Lamont, look very good in Lamont Singletary and look very good doing it, somewhere along the line, who knows? You've got a possibility of a Kisner-Reeves matchup. That'll be interesting to see what happens there. We have some information about Reeves coming up in this podcast as well. So Nick Kisner taking on Travis Reeves in an 8-round cruiserweight main event on the card March 30th at Michael's 8th Avenue. In the super middleweight contest, scheduled 4 rounds, it'll be Dangerous Donald Wallace out of Baltimore. He'll take on Barry Trotter out of Columbia, Maryland. Now, Wallace is 2-0, 1 KO. He fought on the last card at Michael's 8th Avenue, won a 6-round unanimous decision over Tahir Thomas. That was back on January 13th. You heard that card here on the Box Law and Beltway Google app for Android. Wallace is a good boxer. I like him. He showed a lot. I mean, he went 6 rounds for the first time after only one pro bout. So, and did very well against Thomas. Thomas in that bout kind of faltered down the stretch, and Wallace took advantage of that and went on to win the bout. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Trotter is someone who every now and then fights. I mean, he fights every now and then, and that's kind of unfortunate because every now and then when he does fight, he gives people some trouble. Now, his last bout, he did not do that. He hasn't fought since August of 2014, and he was knocked out by Demetrius Ballard, and that bout was in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, back in August of 2014. So Trotter has not fought since then. He's 2-2 with 1 KO. So we'll see what Barry Trotter still has. Again, he's won some bout. I saw him win a bout at the what used to be the Patriots Center out of Eagle Bank Arena over at George Mason on a Jimmy Lang card. So he's got the ability. Whether or not he is still the same type of boxer, that remains to be seen. Also on the card will be Baltimore welterweight Joey Bazooka Joe Veazey, and he'll take on Washington, D.C.'s Lamont White. Now, Joey Veazey, I've watched him along with his brother Sean as an amateur since they were little kids, and I'm really excited to see him as a pro for the first time. Veazey was a really solid amateur in this area and around the country. I think he won a ringside world championship, and he's actually competing in Maryland for the first time as a pro. He's 1-0, and he made his pro debut back in Winchester, Virginia on October 22nd, winning a 4-round decision over Alberto Delgado. He's going to be in there with a pretty tough guy, though, and that's in Lamont White. Now, Lamont White is 0-6, but he's a very durable 0-6. He has never been knocked down in a contest. He has always gone a distance. One fight he did have a no contest, and his opponent got cut. But White can give some people some tough bouts. He gave Tariq Irby a tough bout in his last outing back on February 11th at Rosecroft Raceway. He lost a 4-round unanimous decision to Irby. He also lost a unanimous decision to Greg Outlaw early in his career. And again, was tough and really, I think, will test the young Veazey. Only one bout. Of course, he fought Greg Outlaw in Outlaw's pro debut, and he fought Irby, and Irby was only 1-0 going into the bout. So he's a good guy to get some rounds and get some experience against. Now, whether or not he'll win, he hasn't won yet. We'll see what happens on the 30th. But that's a good bout for Joey Veazey at this stage. So we'll see what happens in that bout. And also, the card marks return of Catonsville, Maryland cruiserweight Steve Showstealer Wheeler. Really nice prospect. Good to see him back. He's been out a while. He's been out since 2010. And September 2010, he scored a first-round knockout over Donnie Crawford in Baltimore. And they're still looking for an opponent for Steve Wheeler on that particular card. Also, the amateur portion of the card, we just know that Brian Hanslager, the Baltimore Boxing Gym, he's a heavyweight, and he is going to be on the amateur portion of the card. And we don't know the rest of the card, but it looks like Brian Hanslager may not be an amateur too much longer. So we'll see what happens with that. So that is basically what's going on around this area. Oh, one other note. Do have one other note. And that's on Saturday, March 23rd. I'm sorry, Thursday, March 23rd. And that'll be in New Jersey. And this is a card we'll write about more on the podcast. And we know we haven't done it because it's changed recently. Now, a number of Beltway boxers scheduled to be on that card in New Jersey, including Malik Jackson, Glenn DeZern, and also the debut of Hasim Rahman Jr. And so we're happy to see that as well. Now, one person that was scheduled to be on that card is not going to be on that card. That's Malik Iceman Hawkins, and here's why. And this is a major thing, major situation for this area. As you know, the March 11th card at National Harbor Casino in Austin Hill, Maryland, was postponed, and that has a new date. It will be at the National Harbor Casino coming up in the spring, and the National Harbor Casino is going to be a big home for boxing in this area over the next couple of months, April and May. Now, the April schedule will now have 2 cards in a 6-day period. Now, we already been talking about the Saturday, April 8th card featuring 2 world title bouts, 1 regional title bout, and that'll be headlined by Vasyl Lomachenko. He defends the WBO Super Featherweight Championship against WBA Super Featherweight title holder Jason Sosa. The WBO Cruiserweight Champion Alexander Usyk will be defending his title as well. There'll also be a regional title bout on that card. Mike Yes Indeed Reed, Patrick Harris on the undercard of that bout. Now, my broadcast partner and writing partner, Juan Marshall, who's doing very well, by the way, recovering nicely, he broke the story on this one. The new casino will also be the site of a card that'll take place on Friday night, April the 14th. And that'll be a Showbox card telecast on Showtime. The April 8th card will be an HBO broadcast. And by the way, the first time, believe it or not, the first time that HBO has ever broadcast a card in the state of Maryland. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. But Showbox has been in. Showtime has been here many times. Actually, I'm not sure if Showbox has been, but I know Showtime has been here many times before. And they've been in Maryland many times before. And Malik Iceman Hawkins will take on a boxer that, quite frankly, this is going to be a tough bout for Iceman Hawkins on paper. He's taking on a guy by the name of Taras Shillerstuk, and he's out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Ukraine. He's also undefeated. And we'll talk more about this bout next week, but this bout looks very, very dangerous for Hawkins because it's for the interim NABA welterweight title bout. It's a 10-round bout, and Hawkins has never gone 10. In fact, he's never gone past 6 rounds. And Shillerstuk has won 2 other regional titles. He's been where Malik Hawkins wants to be. And that makes things very interesting in this particular bout. So that's going to be part of a Showbox telecast on Showtime. We'll get the other part of that a little bit later on, but we'll see what happens with that one. That's a big one. That's part of that card. Now, the other part of that card, this will be right now a undercard bout, but who knows with the way this is shaping up. When also, thanks to Warren Marshall, he's reporting that Travis Reeves will now appear on this card. Remember, coming up this week as we record this, he was scheduled to be in Australia. In fact, he probably should have been there now if this hadn't happened. He'd be there now preparing for it. He was scheduled to be in Australia on March 18th, Saturday, March 18th, for a bout for the IBF International Light Heavyweight title bout. However, his opponent, Trent Broadhurst, had to withdraw from the bout because he suffered a rib injury in training. So 2 things have happened because of that. Number 1, Reeves will now appear on the April 14th card at MGM National Harbor. That's 1. The second thing that we've heard is that once Broadhurst gets healthy, that bout will no longer be held in Australia. It will be held somewhere in the United States. So we'll see what happens. But Travis Severe Reeves will now be a part of that April 14th card that'll be held at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Now, the other part of this is the card that was scheduled to take place this past Saturday, March 11th, featuring Gary Russell Jr.'s title defense against Oscar Escandón, also Jamel Charlo's defense against Charles Hatley. That has a new date. It'll be Saturday, May 27th, Memorial Day weekend at the MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. So that seems to be the place to be right now. The MGM National Harbor. We've got now, looks like, if you see, we have March 25th, March 30th. That's March 25th at UDC, March 30th at the ABC. I'm sorry, at Michael St. Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. We have April 8th at the National Harbor Casino, April 14th at the National Harbor Casino, and April 22nd. We haven't even talked about this bout. April 22nd at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. That's the Ponytail Promotions card. Tori Nelson scheduled to headline that show. And May 27th back at the National Harbor Casino. Wow. There are a lot of things going on. And if that's not enough, of course, we have the Golden Gloves continuing throughout the week. We go back there for the second semifinal card there on Saturday, March 18th. I hope to be there this week. Last week, I could not make it. My wife is a little under the weather, getting over an illness, so I could not go over there this week. Hope to be there this coming Saturday, March 18th. Of course, the Washington finals will be on Saturday, April the 1st at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. And the regional finals will be April 22nd at Rosecroft Raceway. And we just got word, by the way, that the Virginia, North Carolina Golden Gloves will take place on Friday through Sunday, March 24th through the 26th. And it'll be at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. We'll get the times for you. We do know that the Sunday championship day will be an afternoon affair starting at 1 o'clock. I plan to be there for that one. But the Virginia, North Carolina Golden Gloves will be on Friday through Sunday, March 24th through the 26th at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. So 2 days after the card there in it's March 20th. I said April. It's March 24th through the 26th. My mistake. Friday through Sunday, March 24th through the 26th at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. So March is huge. April's even bigger. It's amazing. Coming up in the Beltway. So let's go with that one more time. Let's go with that schedule one more time. We have coming up March 25th at the hold on a second. I'm sorry. March 25th at the and I'm having a reporter moment. I don't know if you saw the reporter moment from the BBC. I'm having one of those moments right now. My daughter is here. Say hi to everybody, Courtney.
Hi. Guess what? On Friday, I'm going to karaoke.
Okay. My daughter says she's going to do karaoke on Friday. Thank you, Courtney. Appreciate that. All right. So let's go to that schedule one more time. Okay. We've got, of course, the Golden Gloves continue coming up this Saturday, March 18th. March 25th, and March 18th at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. March 25th, that Saturday, will be at the UDC Field Activity Center for the card there, the GQ Promotions card there. Thursday night, March 30th, will be at Michael St. Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. We'll have the call of that as well. The Baltimore Pro Boxing card there. April 1st, that's a Saturday. April 1st will be at the Rosecroft Raceway once again for the Washington Golden Glove Championship Finals. We'll have the call of that. We also have Friday, March 24th through March 26th, the Virginia, North Carolina Golden Gloves, and we may have the call of the championship day on that day, March 26th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll tell you more about that next week. April 1st, we said the Washington Golden Glove Championship Finals. April 8th, the Top Rank Promotions card featuring Gary Russell Jr. defending his title. I'm sorry, correction. Having Vasil Lomachenko taking on Jason Sosa defending his title, his WBO Super Featherweight Championship. We also have two other championship bouts on that card, Mike Reed and Patrick Harris on that card as well. April 14th will be at MGM National Harbor once again with the card featuring Malik Iceman Hawkins taking on Tyra Shilstuck for the interim NABA welterweight title. Travis Reeves on that card as well. Then on April the 22nd, we're at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia for that card there. That's a Ponytail Promotions card. And then on May 27th, back at the MGM National Harbor Casino for the card featuring Gary Russell Jr.'s defense against Oscar Escandón. And I've heard there may be another card in May coming up in the very near future as well. So we have got so much going on. It's going to be an amazing spring for the superb spring of Beltway boxing. It strikes again. And if that's not enough, we forgot about this. May 20th, Gervonta Davis defending his IBF Super Featherweight Championship against Liam Walsh in London, and we talked about that last week. So prepare for a big spring, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a lot of fun with Beltway boxing. So make sure you're right here on the Boxing on Beltway Google app for Android. Tell your friends to download the free app. You also listen to our broadcast on iHeartRadio and Spreaker.com. And we're just going to have some great times coming up in the spring months here along the Beltway. Box on Beltway news and notes, once again brought to you by Real-Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, from shoulder pain to muscle strain, and everything in between, Boxing Along the Beltway recommends Real-Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. And don't forget, you go to www.freepainoffer.com. You get $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief. You get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. In real time. For my daughter, Courtney Williams, I'm Gary Digital Williams saying so long. Thanks for listening, everybody. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world. The Boxing Along the Beltway. Say goodbye, Courtney.
Bye, people.
Take care, everyone.